Welcome back to Tallulah Talks. If you've forgotten, I am Tallulah, and this is our program called Tallulah Talks. I'm a former star of radio, television, and silver screen of a bygone era. Dorothy Ann asked me to come in to share some of these views and values and educations and insights from different perspectives. But we are broadcasting from the other side so you get our greatest wisdom. And today we are going to be talking about political matters. Now, I'm assured that this is a delicate topic. People have a hard time expressing political views or they're on rampages. And so today we are going to try to narrow our discussion of politics to how we could solve problems. Because it's really what's the matter with politics. It's supposed to be there for us people and to help us and to solve problems. So the solution may be that we need to be working towards a new political party. That's what we truly need. And let's call it We the People. What do you think? I mean, it's in our roots, darlings. It's in the Constitution. It would make perfect sense. And the motto, of course, is to solve problems. So I think we can embrace this. And of course, you can be a member if you're willing to solve problems. So that means you can come from other political parties if you'd like to become a member. And you may not be very political, but you may have a good mind. We have lots of very creative minds in this country who could solve problems. So we would welcome all of you to We the Party. So given that the real motto here is to solve problems, we took it took us time to figure out who would be best representing this political party. And the man who really speaks to it and understands how to solve problems is none other than Larry the Cable Guy because he gets it. You get her done. And you see this. This is delightful how he embraces the party line here on his forearm, and he even has tattooed here upon his bicep, "We the People." So this man truly embraces our new party, and he doesn't even know he's involved yet. But we are so grateful for him, Larry. Thank you so much for standing up there and really putting our values in front of people. It's so delightful that you're there for us, and the joke's on you, of course. So, going on, here is how we solve problems. We have first, of course, identify the problem. It's not that difficult. We have so many. The problem is to set some priorities around it. But we have a focus group, say, and they brainstorm possible solutions, set the priorities, propose a solution, analyze the costs. Now, costs here need to be expanded. They're not just the bottom line, not just the financial. We need to look at the cost to the human condition, to the environment, to the education system, to the political system, to the social system. It's the whole ball of wax. We have to have it from does it cause harm and to what kinds of constituencies. So it's very important to be able to analyze the cost this way. And then we need to allow others input and, move it around a little bit. And then finally, we get her done. So is that not a great platform for a new political party? I think it is. So going on, let's look at a problem that's really, well, actually, it's funny. People aren't really talking about it these days. They just are accepting it. This is, moved into apathy. We need to move on here. So here's the problem. You will recall that we bailed out the banks and Wall Street to the tune of $700 trillion. So our position in this party is it's payback time. Now I'm not sure what happened to what happened to the money. It may have got a bit laundered, but I did see interviews where people didn't understand. Even people at the top of trying to manage it didn't know where the money went. So I mean, well, we won't go into that today. But it's time that we create a plan to solve this problem. And so we were considering this greatly, and here's what we have decided, is that since there's $700 trillion owed, if we request from Wall Street and the banks that they pay us back now in 70 trillion a year, they could all have it paid off in 10 years, which would be wonderful. This would be one economic solution. And then, because they were such dastardly deeds, on their behalf. Well, just I won't go there. The interest rate would be an additional 70 trillion dollars a year to be paid off in an additional 10 years. So that, well, paid back is tough. You know how it goes. So think about this. This would mean that we would have $27 trillion coming back into the economy for the next 20 years, and it'd certainly boost our quality of life. You know that we have a rise on the homeless, and children are going hungry in the country, and I mean, it's just awful. So this is money we could be spending on such situations. Now, I'm going to give you just a bit of a history lesson for those of you who recall that we do learn things from history. Our favorite quote here is actually from the preamble to the Constitution, written by the wisdom of our forefathers. And I'd like to read it aloud to you because the literacy rate in this country is so high. Um, so let's begin. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, did you get that? More perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense. Notice defense is misspelled because our dear forefathers were British, and that's the British spelling. Promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Darlings, that's us. We are the subsequent generations. So, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America and perhaps the world, since we seem to be imposing it on a great deal of lots of people. Anyway, another aside. So, so we want to remind you here, and look at this. Isn't this very sweet? That they actually capitalized the words that were really important: order, union, justice, tranquility, welfare, blessings of liberty, our posterity, and they did not capitalize defense. So maybe we should be moving away from postures of making war and making more blessings of liberty and ensuring our posterity and getting money back into our governmental coffers. So these are the solutions we are offering you today from my perspective anyway. So we the people, new political party, payback time for the banks and Wall Street, all in the effort to form a more perfect union. Do you love it, darlings? I just think that is so terrific. So, Tallulah, signing off now. Thank you so much for joining me. And we're moving on now to our closing slide here, and that is that this was produced by Dorothy Ann. She's the one that does all of this stuff. And here's the website for more information about other things we're doing. Oh, and when we, criticize that the issue of defense, please note that we are promoting the language of peace. And we actually offer it on a different website here, and you can have members of your family, you and your family can learn the language of peace together. Buy pizza, listen to a lesson, talk about it, begin learning to incorporate it into your lives because we believe that peace begins within. So thank you all. Toodaloo. This is Tallulah signing off.